Oh my friend, damn, come on, way too strong, way too fast, way too. Way too old, too damn, get cautious. Yo, Snack, yo, Zorks, how's it going, big dog? How's life, man? I'm gonna try and push the contrast a little bit on this. Let's do a new layer here, and we'll just do a correction layer. Brightness, contrast, contrast. It's too much. All of my friends tell me up there, then come on, way too strong, way too wrong. All my friends tell falling in love, way too on, down and cautious. Nice, directly hit with an ad. What up, Lemon? How's it going? It's so interesting seeing the little zygote like symbol next to the subscribers. I haven't had a sub badge until like this month, basically, for like the whole 2-ish years that I've been streaming. And so yeah, it's cool to see yeah, I don't know, it's just cool. Cool to see it. Another much. A zygote is very cool. Thanks. Yeah, you're pregnant now, dude. Congratulations. When's he due? It's a little bit much. Okay, how much time left on these ads? 50 seconds. Can't wait for the zest rats running around our crib. That's right. The zesty little rats, dude. I know I just played this this song. I love this song, dude. I've been fucking blasting this song all day. And all last night. Jack Harlow's new album is okay. The songs I've heard, they're okay, but this one is such a banger. Way too strong, way too fast, way too wrong. All of my friends only falling in love, way too up, down and be cautious on love. Different. All right, time to drop the live notification. Zorks, you're probably back from ads now. So for context, guys, if you jumped in and you just got hit with ads, the first like 5-ish minutes of stream, what I normally do is I run ads. That way it just gets them out of the way for the first hour before I drop my live notification on Discord. That way when people join in, or the majority of people join in, they don't have to like watch ads. I just don't like ads, and so I play them when there's fewer people. And so if you're super duper early, like Zorks was, you might get hit with like a 3-minute unskippable ad break, unfortunately. But it's for the greater good. Hello, Mr. Mouseman. What up, Zippy, the unpaid intern? How's it going, dog? Love again. I love at you. I'm suffering. Covering. But yeah, so today we're just going to continue painting. I want to do some harder outlines, and I want to push some values and all that good stuff. That's really my goal with this one. I pushed the contrast a bit using a contrast layer. But yeah. I'll be recording audio tonight for a video. First time voice acting. Any tips? Yeah, so I've done some voice acting in the past. Nothing, not for anything professional, just for some like projects my buddies did or whatever. And what I find with voice acting is if you're like hyper aware that you're playing a character, it's going to feel awkward and it's going to feel cringe, and that's going to come through in your voice. You kind of have to just like full send, commit. You're like I am this guy. I am going to be as cringe as I need to be to come through as this guy. And if you do that, it'll feel a lot more organic when you're doing your voice acting. At least that's how it was in the limited times that I did voice acting. So, and when I say voice acting, I really just worked on like two or three scenes that my buddy did. But it's like it's very awkward to sort of pretend to be somebody you're not. And so if you know that and you recognize that you're going to feel cringe and you're going to feel uncomfortable when you do the voice acting, and you just commit to ignoring that and full sending it, it'll sound authentic. That would be my advice. Donnie Vander, how's it going, big dog? How's it going? Welcome in. Ms. Doe, what up? Oh, you got a little fetus. Did you always have a little fetus, or were you zygote before? I feel like you were already a little fetus before. Yeah, it's one of the Jack Harlow songs I'm not really super feeling. I do love the last one though. Next. No. No? No, not you, dog. I'm talking to Mrs. Doe. Yeah, I've had the fetus since you made the badges. Oh, I see. Respect. It's because Donnie, for context, we have our sub badges here go through embryonic states, and so if you're a 1 month sub, you've got a fertilized zygote as your symbol, and then the longer you're subscribed, the more it turns into a full grown baby, and then eventually you give birth after 9 months, and then you have a little mouse baby. And so I was just curious if Kim Do had always had the fetus badge, or if she just developed that embryonic stage. I guess I don't exist. Yeah, you haven't been plucked out of the ether yet, dude. You're still fucking a soul in the primordial soup. Okay, I'm gonna make some tweaks to the mouth. I feel like I pushed the poutiness too much. Oops, it's too much. I know we're gonna start working on the arm and shit like that, but anyways. It is, you know how many people we've converted from YouTube chat to Twitch chat? It's crazy. My Twitch chat forever is just gonna be a wasteland, bro. Now that you're here, Zippy, I'm going back to being a one viewer chud on YouTube, with Kimno being my viewer, or some 12-year-old asking me to draw some has-been hotel shit. All right, I want to push a lot of the value ranges. I still feel like her face just feels so odd to me. There's something really off here. I'm gonna erase some of this lip out. There's like too much going on. Okay, smaller mouth there. I am going to sort of exaggerate a lot of the shadows around the mouth just because I want to show that she is actually pursing her lips. Zero viewer chud today. I'm too ill to sit at my desk, I fear. Don't worry about it. I am a zero viewer chud. That's life. Sometimes it'd be like that. YouTube chat only got like Boar and Second Boar. I'm pretty sure it is his second account or her. I actually don't think they're the same person. I mean, there's no way for me to know. But I think Boar's Bones, I think is like one of those auto-generated YouTube names. Like if you use the name generator on YouTube, it'll give you Boar's Bones. And so I think he's legitimately just like a different guy. Chad, I gotta swap my headphones, dude. I got my Bluetooth like headset on. Um, I'm gonna put my little earbuds in just because the headset's really heavy. I did a workout yesterday. I'm a little sore. Just don't want to put extra weight on my neck. Also, if you're feeling up to critique today, can you take a quickie wiki peeky wiki into crit channel? If not, it's totes fine. Yeah, I could do that. I can do that. Is that a scar on her face or is it just shadows? She's just happy to see you, dude. Let me swap my Bluetooth. Yeah, no, they are scars. Ba, ba, ba. Connected. Bluetooth connected. Ooh, that's loud as hell. Okay. Does that fuck with the audio? Do I have to reset my audio channel? Can you guys still hear Spotify? You can. Okay, beautiful. Kindog. Oh, that's an awesome name. Kindog. Does he have a crit channel? Has any crits other artists or something? I do. Yeah, in the Discord, I have a critiques channel, and I go over people's work when they submit it. There's no charge. It's free. Okay, Kim. Let's see what you got. Let me pull your shiz up. Copy image. Miss Sam, what up? How's it going? Okay, because we have a dark background here, I'm probably just gonna work straight on your thing. Okay. What can I say about this? I think you're resisting the urge to do foreshortening, specifically on this leg. I'll show you this leg, this front leg here. Because I feel like this person kind of feels like they're at the edge of the bed. Like their butt is basically flush with the edge of the cushion. And I feel like if I were leaning, like tilting myself towards the outside of the cushion, like she is, and my butt was also flush to it, I would be kind of off balance. And especially if she's like pointing her toe a little bit, my guess would be this is a little bit off balance. So I would bring the knee out a bit maybe, and sort of like anchor it a bit better, maybe. Like actually have like the heel down or something. I don't know. I think another thing I don't like is that I think there are things in art that you can do to sort of really amplify the complexity of a scene. And it's not to say that you need to make your shots complex, but I think Kimdo, you're at sort of a level where you should be looking for small opportunities to push yourself. And I think having a little bit more of a foreshortened front on leg or something is a good opportunity and a good thing you could implement into your work to get you into the habit of challenging yourself a little bit. And I would really recommend just taking a photo reference of your own knee and your own leg and just doing like a literal study of it, essentially, in this pose in particular. And you kind of got it going on here. Oh wait, no, that's her arm. Okay. Yeah. You kind of got it going on here, I guess. I think there's just a lot of... All of these legs are very profile and flat. Like, this is a very profile leg. It's basically... They're both perfectly profile. And it just doesn't feel like... It feels like there would be some degree of foreshortening in such a complex pose like this. I think also, you kind of have this energy going through here. This is how I see it, okay? So there's probably multiple energies. But when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing some energy going through here. I'm seeing some energy going through here. Like, this is sort of all the directionality. This area here seems to be like the focal point to me on this piece. And so a lot of the directionality is going up towards this focal area. Oh, Zippy, by the way, for context, don't give critique unless people ask for it. Generally, we don't allow unsolicited critiques just for, it's in the critiques channel. If you want to post critiques and opinions in the critiques channel, that's fine. But just for the sake of the segment on critiques, we try to limit it to me. But in the critiques channel, yeah, if people post stuff in the critiques channel, they can just sort of, you can offer feedback or whatever. It's no big deal. I'll read what you said, though. I think the section where the short hair guy's upper body meets the long hair guys are a lot of mess, noodle, not clear. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree. There's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of overlapping lines. It's not really clear. Like this piece here, to me, read as this lady's leg. Actually, I thought this was until I saw the hand here. I thought this was her leg because I feel like it would almost feel more organic. I don't know. This leg feels short to me. Okay, I'm gonna go through a couple things. I'll give you a bulleted list. I think this leg down here could point out a bit more and help maybe serve the gesture a bit better and the flow of the piece. Because right now it's sort of, you got a little bit of a visual line break here. It's not terrible because it leads up through here, but there's a lot of clutter, so it's not really, there's not a lot, it kind of gets lost. Once your eye moves up from here to here, it gets lost in this area because there's no directionality or flow or anything like that. So my advice would be point this toe a little. You don't even need to point it that much. That might be too much. It might be too pushed. I would point the toe out maybe like this, just a little bit more over, This knee in that case would be more front on. Whatever. I'm not gonna draw the details or whatever. I'll let you figure that out. But this leg, I would bring it in a little bit more foreshortened here. These are just sort of ideas. This arm here, I don't know that I like this arm here. I would bend the arm almost like this. And I feel like it would sort of tie things down a little bit. Or you could have it hang out like here. I would just not bring it out as much. I know there's kind of a gesture in there. I'm just trying to identify like the major axis, and I'm trying to see what could amplify those major axes. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of clutter here. I would say clean up the clutter in this in the arm chest area. Clean up the clutter. Clean. This is a very big brush. Laying in bed since 6:30 this morning. What time is it for you right now? Clean the clutter. I don't really like this song. Next. Add complexity. Add some complexity. Just because I think it's not that you have to add complexity, Kimdo, but I really think you're sort of the bridge for you to progressing in your art and your ability based on the level that you're at now is to force yourself to take on small challenges in a piece, right? And that could be just one foreshortened leg that you try and dissect and understand, or it could be one foreshortened arm. It doesn't have to be crazy next level all over the place, dynamic this, dynamic that, blah, 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 foreshorten this. But just one or two elements that can help push you a little bit. Add an element of complexity and more than what you have here. Add some foreshortening. Add some foreshortening. Shortening. Think of the flow and how you can serve that and how you can serve the major, this is a long bullet, major axis line. Does everybody know what I mean when I say major axis? An axis is essentially just like a central line going through a thing. Like if you took a person and you wanted to make them rotate from a central point, that would be sort of like an axis line. And there are different axis lines on different features, like an arm might have its own axis line, the torso, the entire figure, all of that stuff. When people talk about gesture, what they're really talking about, for the most part, is these axis lines and identifying the largest axis lines, secondary lines, stuff like that. When you can identify these and you can streamline a lot of the pose to work within that central axis without pulling away from it too much, you'll get a lot more fluidity in the movement and organic feeling in your drawing. It sounds really mumbo jumbo-y, but it is legitimately something that you should try and identify. I like the art you have for the social section of your Twitch page. Nice light work. You draw it yourself? No, I did not. This was done by my mod, Bobemeyer. He also did the PNG tuber. Boar's Bones, a lot of red, huh? What are you doing? Why the girl face look like, those? I have no idea what you're talking about. Right now what we're doing a critique for one of our chatters. Kim Dogja fan, Ms. Doe. Yeah, I wasn't completely sold on the arm either. I just didn't know how to make the pose not look super uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah. This arm and this... The thing is, I don't dislike the legs, Kim, though. I just feel like... I feel like they're too flat. Like, I feel like it's just coincidentally too... like, it always feels unorganic to me when a character is like doing a they're sitting or something, and it's like, wow, you could see both of their legs and they're both the same length. That's kind of weird. Like normally if you're sitting, you're gonna have some sort of asymmetry. Where one leg's maybe doing this, and maybe that leg is fully drawn, but then this leg is like front on, and it's a little bit less, fully drawn. Like there's a lot of foreshortening in the length of the upper thigh. I just feel like that feels more real to me. And if the goal is an element of realism and moving away from flatter images, I think implementing stuff like that can be a good idea. The torso, she's wearing baggy clothes. I would think about tension lines, wrinkles, as things pull. I'd be curious to know. Yeah, I know this is a sketch right now. And I know I'm trying to keep in mind your style. You tend to go more detailed with the rendering rather than the line art. I don't think I actually see a whole lot of your line art most of the time, so I'm not very familiar with it, I don't think. But, and you've got some wrinkles and some tensions lines here. Yeah, I mean, that's really it, is what I would say. I feel like this girl needs a little bit more to the back of her skull. I also think, like, whenever a character's looking down like this, because of the shape of the eyelids, and because eyelids sort of have this like volume over the eyeball, right? Like, if I'm positioning a camera above my subject here, like if their head is tilting down, which is essentially the same thing as having a camera up here, you're gonna get a lot more upper eyelid than actual eyeball. And so I would just honestly, and the curve would be inversed. Because the eyeball from the top is curved, you'll get a little bit more of a curvature, even if they're looking straight ahead. And so what I would do is, instead of having the eye curve like this, like you have, I would do the opposite. So I would choose the height, or maybe just make it a little bit more, It just feels more like they're looking down. Like you basically have it on this side. Somebody followed me. Who gave me a little follow there? Grimnir's Dance. Welcome in, big dog. I don't know, but since Photoshop has that 3D rotation work, I got lazy with my perspective. That's fine. I still think there's value in like learning this stuff, just because it helps you sort of troubleshoot your own work when you're stuck. That's where I'll leave it. I feel like that's kind of a lot, I would be curious, Kimdo, if you'd be open to it. Like, once you sort of tighten things up a little bit, define some of the forms a little bit more, and tackle some foreshortening, if you want to send it my way again, for another look, just to see if we can push things a little bit better. Also, I think another thing is your hairline here is very straight. I think because the head is like rotated down like this, or you're looking kind of below her face, you probably get a little bit more of a spread like this with the hair. And then like maybe not even like that. That still feels a little weird to me. I think the face and stuff is kind of low. Is it? Let me see what happens if I raise it a bit. It feels a bit better to me. Looks terrible with a red marker. All right, I will go now. All right, peace out, Boar's Bones. I appreciate you popping in, big dog. It's late. It's late night here. Oh fuck. I think your brows are kind of also a little far back. I would just bring this brow in a little bit and have it sort of follow the curvature of the upper eye. Again, I know this is sketch or whatever, but just something to think about. Anyways, I'm doing too much. I'm just gonna leave you with that, and then I'll send you on your way, and that should be good as a starting point. Okay, all right. I'm gonna delete this shit. I'm gonna delete this freaking critique. All right, let's get the hell off my canvas. There we go. And now we're back. Power out. Oh shit, dude. You lose your power a lot, huh? I feel like that happens to quite a few chatters, and it's always strange to me. I feel like I don't ever lose my power very often. Yeah, sure, when I'm no longer on my deathbed. Yeah, no rush, dude. Thank you, Mr. Snack. I appreciate it a lot. Are you sick today? Is that why? Yo, how you doing? I just finished a drawing piece. Hell yeah, dude. Very nice, Sammy. I'm gonna fill up my coffee mug. I'll be right back. Some little orange too. Don't mind if I do. I've had the flu for like 4 days now. My head is exploding. Fuck, dude. Are you like on the tail end at least, or are you still suffering? All right, time to peel this orange. Oh, I want to listen to. I want to listen to fucking. I've really been on that Jack Harlow new album tip. I really like this song. Sorry, you're probably gonna listen to it several times today, so deal. My fever went down a lot, but my throat and head still hurt like crazy. Oh fuck. Would you guys rather have pounding headaches or sore throats? I guess probably sore throats. I would say that's too easy. Would you rather have a sore throat or a stuffy nose? I guess is like fully stuffy. Olive. Stuffy nose? That's what I'm saying. Actually, that's not what I'm saying. I think I'd rather have a sore throat. Depends how sore, I guess. I don't really know. Way too strong. Whenever I swallow and it hurts, I feel like I'm becoming the Joker. What the fuck does that mean, dude? You 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 lose in love for society on every swallow. Mm-hmm. A Sleepy Oni, hello. What up, big dog? It's still so trippy seeing you because there's another dude in like a streamer friend of mine's like chat called Sleepy Oni, and I see you both all the time. Mm-hmm. All right, once I'm done with this orange, I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we're gonna get back to drawing our purple lady here. I'm the evolution. Yeah, you're the upgrade. Well, you are because you're in my chat. The other Sleepy Oni's not really ever here, so you are the superior Oni. I'm gonna start terrorizing Gotham City soon if it doesn't let up. What would be your villain name, Kimdo? It would be cool if they were though. It would be cool. It'd be cool if I had two Sleepy Onis. I could start collecting them. Snack, you're wrong and always will be. Thank you, Alanix. You know the secret to my heart. Nogja hater. Okay. You just fucking yeah. You'd be like, you'd have he's not a K-pop dude, right? He's a manga guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'd have a murder boner for fucking your manga boy. All right, hand washing times. Be right back. No one would ever suspect it was me. Your alter ego. Do you guys have alt accounts on like Twitch and shit? I've debated making an alt account and just streaming with like no PNG tuber and just fucking being like stealth mode. Just so that I can stream on like off days and not like tie it to my main channel or my art channel or whatever. Not too much effort based. 5 stream streak? Shit. I have an alt account on Twitter and Instagram. What do you use it for? Arguing with people, saying slurs? Is that what you're doing, LNX? Just argue with people on your main account, like a real Chad. That's always funny to me whenever I see like people who are like super famous getting into like fucking petty arguments. When I was I think like 5 years ago, I don't know if you guys are into like the fitness community or whatever. There's this YouTuber called fuck, what the hell is his name? He's like an OG, Scott Herman Fitness, okay? He's an OG. Like he was like one of the old like YouTubers. And he got into like a fucking argument with me in the comments section once. And he was going back and forth like he was so aggressive and I don't know, it was very funny to me because I was super like not attached to it, but he was like raging out. Anyways, I think that's based. I think if you're a big content creator and you still go fucking full unhinged mode, respect. I have an Insta alt to give people IRL who ask for it. I really got to do that, dude. The amount of times that people ask me, like, if I have, like, fucking Instagram or something, and I go, like, no, or I go, like, yeah, kind of, and I dance around ever giving it to them. Like, I gotta figure out a way around that. But I don't really want, like, an Instagram tied to my name. I'm not, like, a big social media guy. I don't have, like, I don't have that love for social media like that. I actually feel like it's probably way healthier to pull away from social media whenever possible. I just don't want people in my life showing up in my stream because the reality is a lot of people I know are very normy, just based on like my work environment and the people around me and like all that stuff. And so they're basically just gonna show up here and just instantly be like, "Hey, it's me from this work that we both work at. How are you, real name?" And then like and that's I guarantee they're gonna do that because like fucking people don't get internet culture. People don't understand it. Like the reality is like doxing and all that shit. It's just not a thing most people give a fuck about. Like it's not. So it's just I'm very 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 cautious around who like everybody that knows like my buddies that know my name and shit like that on Twitch. They're all in the know of like the culture and shit. So they're not like normies, I guess, in that sense. Alanix for my main, which was not safe for work stuff on it, and the other one which was safe for work, which is my alt account. I use them when I'm at work or public. Oh, gotcha, dude. Yeah, I've never had an alt account for not safe for work stuff. A lot of artists do. I just don't really have I don't have the fucking drive to draw not safe for work stuff. I don't know what. No, nothing against it. It's just not a thing that I default to drawing. I never have. I'll draw like this is probably like the ladies you've seen me draw is probably as horny as it gets. I think I've definitely pushed it like a couple times when I did like that lady with the giant big natties or whatever like 2 years ago, but surely like 20 years of internet horror stories circling around the internet would make people more cautious. Also, hi guys. Yeah, but the thing is, Jadu, if you're like a 55-year-old woman or like who works in like some sort of like generic like corporate office, you're not going to give a fuck or understand like Twitch culture and like doxing and shit like that. Like you probably in your world, you have a LinkedIn and being like totally public with all of your information, there's nothing particularly at risk about that because like you use it as like an online resume or whatever. Like these are the types of people in my world. And so these are not the types of people like when they take work photos and I don't sign the consent form to like release my photo or whatever, that's like weird, you know? But I don't care. I'm not into being super publicized. I used to be actually. When I was like younger, actually not even when I was younger. Before I like did the streaming stuff, I was a little bit more laissez-faire, laissez-faire, I guess. Is like I would just not care as much, but I feel like as I've gotten older, especially with things like AI and shit like that, I just feel like it's so like I just don't want my shit out there if I can avoid it. I think the risks feel small until they actually impact you, and then they become a lot less small. Greetings and salutations, my hero. My hero. Why is this red? Go away. What layer are you on? Oh, that one. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna paint over it. Anyways, enough Doomer talk. I'm definitely not like that bad. I'm not like one of those guys who walks around with my fucking phone wrapped up in tinfoil or anything like that, but it's just sort of like internet hygiene is the way I think about it. Yeah, same. I don't care if people see my face slash know what I look like, but I just don't want pictures of my face easily accessible to whoever. Yeah, that's sort of it for me too. Like I don't wear my fucking my shiesty when I go to work, you know? my fucking collared shirt, my shiesty. But internet condom, exactly. I'm really not good at rendering fur. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely push a lot of this shit more. I also don't really think I like the positioning on that shadow there. I think it's a bit much. That versus that. TBD. TBD on how I feel about that. Let's I also know people who've been doxxed. That's also probably where a lot of my fear comes from. I had a buddy who was like a streamer on Twitch, like back when I was in college, and he got like fucking swatted multiple times. I was just like, I'm good. I also know ladies who have streamed that I've had like fucking weirdos and shit, like hunt them down or fall in love with them. It's just like, I don't know, dog. The cons just don't seem worth it. I've always thought of swatting was the fucking grossest thing you can do because the only thing that comes from doing it is inconveniencing everyone involved for like 10 minutes while they probably just shut down the stream. I mean, it's worse than like gross. It's like attempted murder essentially. I feel like attempted murder should be like I really think if you get caught swatting someone, you should just be charged with attempted murder. Just like straight up. I really think swatting is like so fucked. Every time Trin moves the camera at our windows in frame, I start screaming. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't talk about the animation shows I used to work on because like I've had like people will just go through the credits and they'll just look for fucking every dude on the credits until they like find me. Because you could find like the name in the credits and then you can find like the art profiles or people's art and you could just be like, oh, stylistically this looks like Snacks work, you know, or something like that, or like an earlier version of Snacks work. People are very committed. Damn, that's dedication. Well, some people got a lot of time on their hands, man. It's like the magma shit, right? Like we did one magma stream, and I get fucking hate rated, where people just start spamming Nikocado Avocado's asshole. That was like the one and only time I ever did magma. I mean, I have a lot of time, but fuck that, boss. I'd rather sleep. That's good, dude. That's good. I mean, I feel like people. You know what? The thing is, Oni, you're probably normal, okay? But by sheer virtue of being exposed to like a lot of people on the internet, there's going to be people who are abnormal and who are unhinged and who are, going to go above and beyond to find shit out about you. And that's fine. I look, and the other thing is, I don't even think that's wrong necessarily. I think if a person is public about their information and somebody Googles them based off of that, I think it's kind of a natural curiosity for humans to have. I don't think it's like some inherently evil shit. But if you combine that with the fact that like maybe this person is going to spread that information or tell people that are like kind of crazy, or maybe they're kind of crazy, like there's dimensions to it. You know what I mean? Like if somebody I knew like found out my name and Googled my information and all that stuff, and they found out like where I worked or whatever. But there's somebody that like is stable and trusting. That doesn't really bother me, you know. But it's the potential for them to not be stable or trustworthy or any of that shit, right? That it becomes a risk. I hate the concept of allowing people to dictate your life and actions like that, though. Well, what do you mean? I don't understand. Like, I'm not. I'm not. It wouldn't be them dictating your life. It would be, my actions leading to certain outcomes. Is how I would see it. Like, if I choose to be public with my information, and then somebody is like fines me based off of that, it's really just kind of my own fault. It's not like. I mean, unless they're doing some evil shit with it, then it's their fault for sure. But if it's like if I'm public with my information and someone just Googles my name, I don't think that's like the most abnormal thing to expect. I feel like that's a genuine like human curiosity for people to do that. But good morning, gamers. What up, Trin? No, like the magma thing, like the idea of someone being a dick preventing you from doing it in the future is an upsetting concept to me. It's not that they're preventing us from doing it in the future. We could totally do the magma thing again. I just have to find a way to do it in a safer way. That's all, or a more restrictive way or exclusive way. Like the whole like open door thing that we had, that was probably my mistake. No, that doesn't mean that like they're justified in doing what they do. They're obviously not. But I think it's just one of those things that I just have to consider just because of the internet. Unfortunately, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like I gotta recognize that the people on the internet are insane. So how'd you sleep, Tren? How you doing? I think my lighting's too complex. Also, don't like the values on the nose here. I'm gonna tone it down. I don't hate the blush. I just think it might be a bit much right now. Yeah, smoother feels better to me. I do want to get some of this, a little bit of the highlight here though, to extend out. Like shit from a butt. Well, well. Sorry to hear that, dog. Link in the Discord next time, and also ping me specifically so I can join. Yeah, well, I think the approach would just be to have like a magma role, and then that way we can just sort of have people vetted for that role, and then that way we don't have to worry as much, and then I could just basically have like a magma only channel, and people can join there. Twitter taught me that people are actually insane. Poop talk queen. Wahoo! Yes, sir. Did that pick up or did that get clipped by my noise gate? This is looking swag. Thanks, man. I'm trying. I still think the eye and cheek are kind of fucked. I did take your advice though, and I tweaked the mouth. And I'm gonna get rid of the scars too. I was gonna do the scars, but I think the smoother skin. It's just it just helps with readability a little bit. It picked it up. Very nice. Never changed. Nah, I picked up 10 out of 10. Woohoo! Very nice. Do you guys think I sound like Mario? You think I could do a Mario cosplay? When I have a mustache, people will like call me Mario. So it's because I have a very round face. I got like sort of the. I've got like a round face, the big nose, and my hair is literally like Mario's. So it's just. It was worse when I worked at Subway because I had to wear the green hat, so I looked like fucking Luigi, dude. It was terrible. I think I've seen you draw the big nose image of yourself 10 times. It's all you get. It's all you get, I'm drip feed. How's it going, Lemon? You do have Mario hair. Thanks. It's true, I do. Day one. This is my hair. I don't have a mustache right now, but whoa, Luigi's the goat. I think I gotta just make like a version that's like all nose. Oh, Lemon has been good. It's so beautiful. Very nice. Lemon speaks in the third person. I gotta start doing that, dude. Mustache era is back. It is not, actually. I'm not mustached up right now. I'm clean shaven. Looking smooth. It is interesting though to see all the reactions from people when I shave my mustache. It's and it was same with my long hair. When I had long hair, mustache and facial hair and long hair are like two things that like a dude, like if you get rid of that, you're gonna find out people's preferences real quick. Because people are gonna be like, dude, no, you gotta grow back. Or they're gonna be like, oh, you look so much better. Or they're gonna be like, no, you look like shit, you gotta grow back. It's like you can tell like and it's kind of reassuring because it kind of means there's no wrong answer. Because the reality is there's so many diverse views that people have in terms of like aesthetics like that that it's no matter what I do, somebody's gonna like it. The question is, do I like it? I think when I shaved my mustache, because I hadn't seen myself without a mustache for like 6 months, it was fucking weird. Because I was like, whoa, my lip looks. I don't like the way my lip looks because it's I don't know, it's so strange. Took me a while to get used to. Now I feel fine. Now I like it. But yeah, at the time I was like, it's definitely strange. Honestly, everyone who's seen me have a dramatic change in facial hair has always felt weirded out by it for about half an hour and then suddenly felt like it was how I've always looked. Have you ever tried a goatee? No, I would look like a fucking white supremacist, dude, if I had a goatee. I'm like, I just can't, I don't. I'm not a goatee guy. I think like there's certain facial hairs that they just don't work. I feel like there's certain facial hairs that you have to either be like a middle-aged man to pull off, or like if you're a young man with a goatee, you look like you probably collect comic books or listen to Nick Fuentes. I feel like I can't imagine like Like a dude with a good-looking goatee. Unless they're like insanely handsome, like they just have like the craziest bone structure ever. Then I think you could probably pull off the goatee, but when one of my uni lecturers cut his hair in the middle of a semester, I thought he was a substitute for a good week. Yeah. I think another thing that's interesting is like how hair impacts like your the way your face looks. I have a bit of a square, not squarer, but like rounder-ish head, I guess. And so because of that, when I have like long hair, if it looks good if the long hair is like long enough, you know, or like short actually. The medium length is it doesn't look too bad. There are a lot of really in between stages that look terrible though. Like if I get the hockey flow, honestly, not too bad. Anything that adds volume to the top of my head looks good. Anything that sort of like rounds out my head even more does not look good. I think another thing is like fuck. I think another thing is because I have an asymmetrical face, I can't do things like middle parts very well, just because I feel like it sort of highlights the asymmetries more. And it's not to say that asymmetries are bad. I actually don't mind them that much, but I think it's just sort of like it makes them stand out more in a negative way when you have like if you try and have like a symmetrical haircut but you have an asymmetrical face. So I tend to part my hair now that it's short a little bit off center. So my hair will like part kind of like this and then like that. I don't know why I keep drawing myself with a mustache. Yeah, I feel like you're always fighting against the goatee rather than it bringing you up. Yeah, you know what? I think if you got like sort of the thin Frenchman look goatee, like the pencil thin one, maybe that could work. Or like black dudes can pull off goatees really well. I really like goatees on black dudes. I feel like the white boy goatee, it just don't work as well, dude. I feel like, I don't know. It gives off like fucking greasy vibes. I guess that monk haircut where it's bald in the middle and hair on the sides is out of question. Bald on this monk haircut where it's bald in the middle, oh, like the friar cut or whatever. Like if I had like one of these. Yeah, that probably wouldn't work. I've had bangs for like my entire life, and I think I'll have them till I die. That's probably me with my fringe. I have like I'm always gonna sort of have like hair sort of droop down on my face a little bit. I don't even have like a massive head, but I just like the or massive forehead. I just like the way it frames my face a little more when I got like some loose leaf hair just falling down. Anyways, I'm getting pulled away from my freaking lady. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the way this is going. I just feel like I could do better. Jisha, hello. How's it going, big dog? Yeah, I'm gonna try and do some of the other shit here. Am I tripping? Oh, I am tripping. I was like, why does this brush feel so fucking weird? It's 'cause it's not the right brush. To be fair, my facial hair naturally does a goatee, so maybe it's just a black thing. I don't think so. My hair is kind of like that too. I can't like grow facial hair on my cheeks. So like if I were to give her a beard, like my hair pattern is kind of like this. I kind of have like the Leo DiCaprio thing going on. I could grow like a crazy neck beard, but it doesn't really like connect super well here. Like it'd be like very sparse. And so when it grows in, or I get like 5 o'clock shadow, if I let it grow too much, it kind of looks goatee-ish. So I basically shave every like 2 to 3 days. Same, my forehead's normal size, but without bangs, my face is just so egg-shaped. Yeah, same. It's mostly like I feel like it frames my face better from the sides. You seem to rock both the fully shaven or full-blown stash. Yeah, those are kind of the two things I go between. I had a phase when I was like 20 where I did like the soul patch too, under not just the soul patch, like I would do like the basically like the musketeer. I would do like the mustache and the little soul patch underneath. It was like very young-ish, and it was also very millennial because I was like it was in back then, you know. Brave, thank you. In okay, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. Snacks pickup era, yeah. I would wear my fedora for my peacocking, dude. I would wear my big fuzzy hat and then hit on girls and on the street. Milady had a yeah, exactly. Oh, I feel like the fur doesn't look good. Pisses me off. Hey, I know that guy. What up, Ian? How you doing, big dog? I'm gonna add. Fuck. I do kind of like the sort of value ranges I had before. Fuck me, dude. I don't know what to do. What's wrong with it? It's not as good as I think it should be. I think things I produce should be better than this. That's kind of it. It's not that I think it's bad. Like I think if I saw someone else produce this, I'd be like, oh, it's a good drawing. But it's not as good as it could be. It doesn't match my standards. That's it. That's exactly what it is. It does not match what I think I should be outputting. It's not good enough. It's not that it's bad. It's just not good enough. Now the question is, can I salvage it? I don't know. I think doing like a hard outline might help. Not with this brush though. And I think also lightening the background, sorry, flashbang, might help too. Now I can start pushing the values a little bit more instead of going off of the white background. I think doing that could be good. May I suggest something? Of course, dude, always. You got the pass. You get the unsolicited. You get the solicited pass. Oh, high and mighty snack. Yes, Ian. You know my words of affirmation, Ian. Remember, chat. You got an egg, so you can fertilize those eggs. I don't think we're allowed to say that word anymore, dude. Don't say that, Jaddy. Yeah, what the hell, Jadu? Try and commit to hard edges for shadow shapes and highlights, and I think this would start rocking more. Yeah, you're right. I'm very scared to do that, and I think it's gonna work better. Ah, fuck. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do a new layer, and I'm just gonna do some graphical elements. Do I like it before or after this layer? I think I kind of like the more muted face from the layer below. Okay, let's just choose this. We're gonna bump down the saturation, or bump up the saturation, lower the value, shift the hue slightly, and we're just gonna paint some forms in here. I'm just gonna hard commit to putting in some value shapes. I'll blend these out later. They're gonna feel very harsh, but lose the glasses, nerd. I'm convinced some of you guys just like to spend your points. Hi, hi. The greeting parasite took over. Wolfpack unite. Okay, I gotta check if my noise gate's on. I know this shit gonna get clipped. Give me a second here. Filters, noise suppression off, noise gate off, close. We uniting. All right, noise gate on, noise suppression on. Dude, the fucking song request is not working, huh? Let me get that. Let me get that back up for you. Sorry, I wasn't logged in. Forgive me, Jisha. I'll queue up your shit in a sec. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I gotta go into my authenticator app. Give me a second. Fucking annoying ass. Where is it? Where is it? I always forget where the hell it is. There we go. Okay. Let's try that. Remember device for 30 days. I feel like I clicked that last time. I still didn't remember it, so. Songify and Twitch are now connected. All right, thank you. Now let's try this shit again. I'm gonna queue up your songs, Jisha. Don't queue it up. I got you, dog. Don't worry. I'm taking care of you. Come on, Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q. Oh, would you look at that? It queued up. All right, the next one. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I hate this dot. Sorry. Go away, dot. This song is already in the queue? Oh. I guess you just tried to queue up the same song twice. Chat, I'm gonna... When are ads running? Oh, they just ran. Fuck. I'm hungry. I'm hungry, chat. Chat, I discovered Halo Top ice cream, and I'm, like, addicted. I'm probably gonna actually be one of those guys that just has, like, a freezer full of it. They're kind of expensive, though. They're, like, $5 a pop. Anyways, I'm gonna get a little... I need some protein. I need some protein. I need to hit my macros. Give me a sec. I'm gonna go figure something out. BRB. True, that's very rich man of you. What's very rich man of me? Hitting my macros. I'm just gonna keep popping in and out because I'm cooking eggs right now. And I'm here to entertain you all while I wait for my eggs to start frying. I'm also gonna put some rye bread in the toaster, and I'm just gonna do eggs on toast. Seems basic enough, and I'm gonna sprinkle some hot sauce on that shit and call it a meal. I have a very basic diet, I guess. I was gonna make chicken drumsticks tonight for dinner, but I may have already eaten too many calories today, so we'll see. TBD. Dude, this song is like 8 minutes. It's a long ass song. Let's keep the songs under 4 minutes if we can. All right, I'm gonna go check on my eggs. I'm just eating untoasted bread. Sorry, I didn't check. No worries, dude. But snack. What about my 45-minute long prog rock album? Yeah, that's right. Let's just queue up a Joe Rogan podcast episode. I love bread, dude. Wait, that's a good idea. If you want to get banned. Chad who loves Joe Rogan? Do you really, dog? He had his moment, then the pandemic made him crazy. I feel like a lot of people went crazy during the pandemic. It is it was like an accelerator for insanity for a lot of people. I love Joe Rogan as much as I love my horse dewormer. I'm gray right now. All right, I gotta go flip my eggs. Okay, I've returned with my eggs and bread. My peasant food, dude. My peasant meal. Mm-mm-mm. You guys getting that crunch? Sometimes I wrap myself in blankets and pretend I'm in a cocoon. You're just like me. Can you critique my animation? Yeah, once I'm done my eggs and toast, I'll take a little look. If you put the blankets in the corner, it becomes a cocoon. Sounds kind of racist. Elaborate. If you don't get it, you'll learn when you're older. Nah, bro, nah. Fuck, I just spilled yolk on my pants. Hear me? Bro, hot sauce? Probably the most peak condiment. I don't know. Are you guys an egg and ketchup type people? I feel like egg and ketchup people. No offense, chat. If you like eggs and ketchup, you might be 6 years old. Okay, I don't, I can't stand it. It's gross. I feel like ketchup is like too strong. It's like too overpowered. I don't like ketchup very much. I eat it in certain things, but I feel like ketchup is kind of overused a little bit. Just my humble opinion. Eggs and hash brown. Egg and hash brown is acceptable with some ketchup. Yeah, I can see that because it's basically just like fries at that point. But I feel like hot sauce is the way to go with eggs. Eggs and chili oil. Ooh, I could see that. Eggs and hot sauce, or eggs and a little paprika seasoning. Let's put this topic to rest. Last time we talked about ketchup, it was the catalyst for the infamous cum stream. You guys are making me think like I fucking had like a sleeper agent moment where I streamed, where I had a cum stream, and I don't remember it. I know it's a bit, but the amount of commitment from everyone in chat is making me schizo. You did. I'll show you a cum stream, dude. Wait, whoa, oh, sorry. Whoa, sorry. Not what I meant. Sometimes I fumble words, okay? Alright, I'm ending stream. Alright, shadows. Let's do some shadow shapes here. You came, you saw, you came again. Classic me. Oh yeah, I gotta do a critique. Let me just move on to that now. Okay, where is our critiques, Jisha? Okay, I'm looking at it, Jisha. I feel like I can't tell. Is this on twos or is this on ones still? Here, I should share my screen actually, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Discord. Discord. I'm gonna move this up here so you guys can see. Okay. I'm looking at this. And I'm wondering if it's on one. It's on twos? Okay. You need more of an ease. You don't have enough of an ease. Do you, when I say an ease, do you know what I mean? Here, I'm gonna stop sharing Discord for 2 seconds. I'm gonna move the clip above it in case I accidentally share it again. When I say ease, you need spacing and timing. Like your character's moving too evenly. And that's not how humans move, like at all. There's inertia when you start a movement, and then there's inertia when you end a movement, or there's a slowdown when you end a movement. Nobody moves in even spacing. Robots do, and it feels weird. So if I move my arm, right, it's never, ever, ever going to move where, like, each one of these lines is essentially a drawing. And it's never, ever going to move in a way where the drawings are even or similar, even if they're, like, similarly spaced, you know? It's always going to move with a movement and a start of inertia, where it's basically like pencil-thin movement at the start. In almost the majority of movements, okay? Not all of them, but in the majority of movements, it's going to slowly build up in spacing, and then it's going to settle down in spacing on the other side. And then it's always going to move on an arc, right? So an arc can be like this, you know, like the arc like that. Or it can be on an arc the other way. Or it can have like a complex arc, like an S-curve, you know? Like maybe it'll do this, and then it'll settle up afterwards. So like it'll go sort of like that on the arc. So it'll go and then like that. Like arcs are a little bit more diverse. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with arcs, but in general, you're going to need to have better timing and spacing. So I'm lost, not gonna lie. Okay, what I mean by this is each one of these drawings is a line. Let's say I'm moving an arm. Okay, I'm just gonna draw a cylinder. Let's say I'm moving a cylinder. Okay, and this is drawing one. This is key one, okay? And then I move the cylinder, and then I have my second key here. So this is where it ends. Probably shouldn't be doing this. That's fine. So this is key 2. In between these, there's going to be more drawings. They need to start slow. Okay, so it would need to do something like this. I'll do it in a different color, actually. And then it'll accelerate, so it'll move a little faster, and if it accelerates a lot, it'll have some squash and stretch. And then it'll settle in here. You need these arcs and these movement patterns and all of this stuff. Like, you need... This is what I mean by spacing. It's the space between these drawings needs to slowly build. It cannot, like, be even. So, like, this space here... Actually, I should do this even better. The space between the first drawing, the second drawing, it needs to get larger and larger and larger, you know? That's just sort of how this needs to go. And you're tracking the same line. So I'm tracking the outer lines here. Outer line, outer line, outer line. Okay, outer line. Look at the spacing. It grows. Small here. Whoops. Small here, gets larger here, gets even larger here, gets even larger here, and then it starts to slow down. So outer line, then we go outer line. You know, obviously I did this really quickly or whatever, but yeah, that's how you want to do it, and then you want it to slow down and slow down and slow down and slow down, and that's how you want to time 90% of your movement. And I say this as a generality. It's not going to be the law every single time that you do it this way, but it should be for most things. And certain things like walk cycles, body turns. Walk cycles a little bit less. They're a little bit more even, but body turns definitely need some ease. And yours doesn't have enough. It's too even. And so if I'm pulling up the Discord again, and if I look at your drawing here, like this is, look at where your shoulder's positioned. Okay. Slow, fast, fast, fast. But then it like hits a wall. I don't know. The whole thing just feels very even to me. I think it needs more ease out. And fewer drawings in between, maybe. There's a lot going on. I would add more tightness. I would basically take your drawings and I would shift them to either extreme. And I would also track arcs better. Because I'm looking at it, and the arc's not fully... The arc feels odd to me. Like, the shoulder arcs up. Like, this screen left shoulder here arcs up a little bit. But then the arm feels like it's kind of on a straight line. It sticks. These two poses, look at the hand. Look how much movement there is in the shoulder. And look how the fingers are basically staying in the same spot as I flip between these two. It sticks. So that's like something you want to avoid. You don't want things sticking. This shoulder comes out, but the arm goes in. It's just strange. Like even here. Like the shoulder, look at the fingers. They're coming around right here and they stick. The fingers are basically in the same spot, but look at how much movement there is in the body, right? Why would the fingers stay in the same spot? It seems a little strange. And then, you know, you go, it settles way too fast. Look at the screen left shoulder. It comes here and then it hits a wall. It hits a wall. The body mechanics and the way the body shifts just doesn't feel natural. Jisha, what I would say is film yourself. If you're gonna do stuff like this, you should have a reference video and then you should be planning out way ahead of time. So there's phases that you need to implement when you're doing animation. The first one is reference. This is the very, very first thing you should do before you do any project. Okay, reference. Then you want to do composition. And that's going to sort of go hand in hand with reference almost. I'll do reference / comp. It's going to be a sub-bullet of reference because you're going to be looking for references that match your composition. Composition. Okay, then from there, whoops, I just threw my pen. After that, you're going to go into pathing. So what arcs are my character moving on, and what does pathing look like? It literally looks like you draw a grid, you plan your character's movement, you figure out where they start, you figure out where they stop, and nothing in between. So if they start here and you want them to stop here, you need to do that. You need to make sure they scale up, and you need to track all of the proportions on every single drawing you do. And that's going to apply to everything. So if the head grows this much, the hand has to match that. You need to do your perspective tracking, otherwise it's going to feel weird, and like don't eyeball it. Don't eyeball it. It sounds tedious. You've got to do this stuff though. And then you need to have a reference. And when I say reference, it really is like a reference video. And that's going to be a video of you walking in front of a camera and turning around. If you have a cell phone or a laptop or whatever with a webcam, just take a recording of yourself and just frame by frame it. Look where your body tilts, look where your body leans, and track all of that stuff. That is going to be the most important stuff. There are things that you want to avoid completely. You don't want anything sticking. No sticking. No sticking. Track volumes. Make sure, have breakdowns. Determine what starts, right? If the shoulder moves, normally if you're starting a movement, your shoulder will start to move, and then your elbow, and then your hand and wrist. All these things are going to drag, usually like a frame or two after one another. So think of like the flows of the movements and all that stuff, and what moves first, the hierarchies of the movements. You can't necessarily move your lower half of your leg without also moving the upper half of your leg, unless you're sitting down and your leg is planted or something. But from a standing position, there's hierarchies to the kinetic chain. So like all of this stuff needs to be thought of and planned ahead of time before you even start drawing. You need to treat it like you're a scientist and you're trying to dissect every single movement. Okay, so I'll send you this. And that's sort of what I would say. And then you can go into animation after that. And then I would only do my animation and breakdowns of keys. So I only do my keys first. Okay, actually I'm going to delete the critique because there is more to add here. So you start with keys. Then you do breakdowns. And then you do in-betweens. And then one thing, because this is, I think, is the second time you post an animation, one thing that I would really recommend from now on every animation submission is add a frame rate counter. Add a frame rate counter, because it's very difficult because it's just easier for me to say on frame 2 or on drawing 2 or on key 2 or whatever, do this. Right? Or on frame 16, do this. Or on it's easier to give critique on animations when there are frame counters, because otherwise I have to go, well, when the shoulder kind of moves here, you kind of want to do this, but it's a lot easier to be precise by being like, on frame 11, shift the shoulder over this much. You know what I mean? So I would add a frame counter. It'll just help me give better feedback. And if you don't have a frame counter in the software you use, you could just literally write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on every page or whatever. As long as there's a way for me to track. So I'll send you that. Okay, now we got another critique. Fuck. I did all this on my main drawing. Oopsies. Now we got a critique by Krups in there. Thank you a lot. No worries, big dog. Huh? Can I show this on stream? Any Twitch streamers know if I could show this on stream? I'm looking a little thicky wicky with no clothes on. Is this safe for Twitch? I don't know. This is a naked bunny boy. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Okay, whatever you say, dude. Alright, let me, if I get banned, Trent, you owe me a Twitch channel. I'm taking yours. I'm just kidding. All right, let me pull this up. Holy fucking! He got the he got a dumpy, dude. All right, bro, leave me alone. I drew my character with her ass out. That's true. Leave me alone, me. Okay. All right, on this drawing, what I would advise, I'm actually going to get rid of the background. Sorry for the flashbang here, chat. This is my first full body I've done in months. Okay. This is a complex pose. There's some stuff that I would avoid doing as general rules. Things like both arms being in the same... it's not as terrible, actually. But I think what I don't like about these arms in particular is that their height is very symmetrical. Symmetry is kind of like... it's kind of... It's a poison in art. For the most part. There's like in 90% of cases it's really bad. In 10% of cases it makes art like beautiful. It's really difficult. There are certain scenarios where I would say symmetry is good. Religious symbolism being one. Close-ups on faces and like extreme emotional like states or whatever, stuff like that. Generally speaking though, posing, symmetry is typically bad. So I would just avoid it. That's why a 3/4 head almost always feels better than like a front-on head. It just kind of flattens things out. Jetta, quit gooning. And so these two hands here, being symmetrical, is something that I would avoid. And an easy fix is just to bring this arm down, you know? You can bring this hand down like that, or bring the shoulder... Actually, I would bring the shoulder up. If you look at the shoulder here, it doesn't feel like it's properly attached to sort of the clavicle area. So the deltoid does kind of attach to the clavicle and the scapula on the back. So I would raise that up. So I'd raise your shoulder. Raise shoulder. Okay. Something like that. The neck, you've got sort of these two opposing lines going out here for the neck. The neck attaches at the base here of the skull. So if you have like a skull, let's say I'm just gonna turn, I know this is like an eye or whatever, but I'm gonna turn it into a skull from behind. So if you got a skull here, let's say, your skull's gonna be kind of like this, and you know, your jaw or whatever the hell. Your neck is going to attach at the base of the skull here, and then your sternocleidomastoid is going to also sort of originate from that point, which is the little two neck muscles at the front. So what I would do is I would just curve that out. I would add some indication that there's a muscle here going to the sternum. I'd do the same on the other side. So I'd actually tilt the curve the other way, and then I think that'll feel a little bit more organic. You know, something like that. I'm not really the furry guy, so bear with me here if I'm struggling, but I'm gonna try and give a little bit more structure to your snout. Probably more of a form like this would be my guess. What kind of animal is this, by the way? Bunny? Oh, I guess that makes sense. I feel like a bunny nose is very small then. I'm trying to think of like how furries draw eyes. I feel like it's kind of like they do like the big exaggerated eyes, kind of like that. He's scared, so we'll give him a little bit of these. The ears, I would not have flush to the head. Well, actually, you know what? It's not too bad. I think they're a little big, though. Your rib cage, I think I would tilt up more. If you're elevating your leg on this angle and the torso's straight like this, and you've got sort of a rotation or a tilt in your pelvis, you're probably gonna get a pinch here. And so I feel like the leg would be a little bit more like this. I'm giving him sort of almost like a lady-ish torso. I think the hip would be up like this. If you want to have like the thick ass butt cheek or whatever. I'm drawing things very shapely. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm just trying to show you the geometry that you could think about when you're drawing these. I don't really like that. I'm going to taper this a little more. I don't want it to be like even on both sides. Bro's making the thighs thicker. Actually, I could make it narrower here. You're not going to see the other butt cheek just because of the angle. It's really just going to continue. It's going to be a continuation here. And I think another thing is I try and sort of break up the forms of the legs a little bit more, just so it's not as even going. I wouldn't want it to be flush the whole way through. You kind of want like some step action going on, you know, where it goes like that, then like that, or whatever. Just a little bit of variety. And then this arm, it doesn't really feel natural to have the arms up like this. Like, honestly, the legs say this person's mid-sprint, and then the arms say this person is standing still, scared. So there's, like, basically two different poses happening. The upper body kind of conflicts with the lower body. Like, if it were me and they were in full sprint like this, I would have them, like, bent forward, almost like they're dashing, you know what I mean? But just working with what you have here, I would tweak the shoulder just a little bit. I'm bringing the arm down. If he's laying down, then I feel the back leg wouldn't push out so hard. He's on a bed. He's laying down. Oh my god, dude. Okay, this is a completely different pose than I would do then. Yeah, the legs, I would just change them like completely. Oh man, I don't know how to have that read. I don't think I've ever drawn like a laying down, top down, like body pillow style view. I gotta think about this. I would bring the other leg forward then, if that's the case, like this leg. I'd do something more like this. And then I would elevate a shoulder, so it's like more relaxed almost, like more sensual. Something like that, almost like more relaxed. And then have this arm sort of turned. I would turn the palm away and onto the chest. Something a bit more like that. I don't know, is the goal to make them look super scared while they're relaxing on a freaking bed here or whatever? I don't know. That feels a little weird to me. Maybe I'd have the other leg also sort of like cross this leg here. I don't know. I don't know. Something like that. He's laying in bed because he's tired, but then his big wolf boyfriend wants to go crazy on him, so now he's scared. Okay, dude. Okay. I don't know how to put myself into the mind state of somebody going through that. I'm gonna leave the facial emotional details to you, dog. I got nothing for that. It's too out of character for me. I don't think I could picture myself as a submissive bunny man about to get fucked crazy style by a wolf. You know what? I think what I gave here is plenty. Dude, I really don't know. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This is a very weird. I've never done like pin-up style like body pillow shit, but anyways, this is probably how I would tackle it. Hopefully that gives you some direction anatomically over what you had. So like that versus that. And gets the hair too. He's good. Snacks first furry smut, yeah. All right, I'll send this to you on the Discord, and then you can work off of that. Let me get rid of these. Okay. Oh, I was rather ring a check. I'm redesigning my buddy. What up, Nox? How you doing? You must bounce on Rabbit. I'm making him all caped up and submissive and breedable. I noticed. I did notice. You were very subtle with it, but somehow my eyes picked it up. Gods, I wish that was me. Shake my head. Okay. Is that all the critiques for the day? Yeah, I think I'm gonna tap out on critiques. We've done quite a few critiques today, so I think that's gonna be where I'm gonna call it on the critiques. Kind of want to add another correction layer here and see if I can bump up the contrast even more with a white background. So far, so good. Got to peel myself out of bed and get ready for work. 30 streams straight. Crazy, dude. Would you be scared if you were in that situation? I would never be in that situation. It's impossible. I'm too much of a tactician. I'd be scanning my environment way ahead of time. There's no way a big hairy wolf man would walk up on me all submissive and caked up in bed naked. It's just not possible. This wouldn't happen. I'm always scanning my environment like a soldier. Genuinely, I look forward to my weekend snack streams. What can I say? What can I say? Put the glasses on. There you go. They're on. Are they? They're not on. I hit the wrong button. Is this the button? There it is. Uh-oh. My PNG tuber's voice is not picking up. Okay. Anyone close to the gaming stream redeem? I doubt it, dude. I feel like nobody's getting that thing. Okay, I'm gonna add correction layer. Correction. No. How do I do this again? View, new correction layer, brightness contrast. I'm just gonna cheat it. I'm just gonna push my contrast. That is quite a bit, actually. It's quite a bit. I'm just gonna peer pressure you into gaming for free. It won't happen. It won't happen. So what? 3 to 4 more years till we get Snap playing FNAF? Yeah, exactly. Have you scanned your surroundings for danger? All you see is a submissive and breedable cat. Would you let him bounce on you crazy style? No. I'm more of a human woman type dude. One of those rare ones in our community. I gotta take a piss, chat. I'll be right back. Khajiit has wares if you have coin. Boring. Bro lives in Snoozeville. I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. I was raised offline. I also like human women, but you bet your ass in the universe where I'm a shredded, sexy man, wolf boxer, I'm getting it on with the all punk African painted dog lesbian at the coffee shop. This is a very niche scenario, dude. I feel like you put a lot of thought into that one. We listen and we don't judge. Here in this community, I really like B stars. What can I say? That's just my OC, big dog. Is it really? The boxer wolf or the African painted dog lesbian? B star supremacy. You know what? I think the bumping up the contrast kind of works there. How would it work with a darker background? Okay, I'm gonna do like a harsher outline on this character because I feel like right now, I just feel like I need more align action going on. DeWolp, I drew them once. Oh, you've been doing a lot of furry commissions, dude. A new career pathway. Not commissioned, just for fun. Oh wow, for the love of the game. Mm, I want to do like a hard outline. I just don't know. I think it'll work better over here. Let me just make my brush a bit bigger. Mm. Don't commission me yet. I'm on death's door. Yeah, she's sick as hell, dude. And she's got a cold. Oh, my highlight is like way lower on this eye. Nothing more difficult for an artist than asking people for money. Yeah, I hate the marketing shit, dude. I just don't want to do it, you know? Good time zone, everybody. Good time zone, Chrissy Carson Art. How you doing? I hate shilling myself. Same, dude. It's just it doesn't feel like natural. It feels very inorganic for me. Wolfpack Unite. All right, let me toggle off my filters real quick. Filters. That was a little too high up in my throat, I think. Doing decent. Just finished food prep, so finally time for breakfast. Nice, dude. I gotta actually track my food today. I feel like I had such a heavy breakfast this morning. I've eaten so much shit already. Sometimes I wonder if the cough is a default part of his hell. It's not. I just can't do I can't do high pitched shit. I don't know. It fucking hurts my throat. That was beautiful. I shed a tear. Thank you. You're welcome. I love how this painting's turning out. Thanks, dude. I'm trying. What is this song? Krups, I'm gonna be real. I'm really not digging this. It just sounds like poorly recorded. They sound like they're 10 feet away from the mic. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm not kidding you, dog. I'm just not digging this. I can't see what my mind saw. The face is like when you made but hungry, so you take a bite out of food but need to keep your angry face. Okay, yeah. So your mind. Okay, Krups. Sorry, the song's gotta go. That was terrible. I could see it, I guess. Like she's chewing on something and she's all pissed off. Bro, okay, this one's fire. I've heard that before. Can I queue up a song that's melodically intriguing? I mean, you can queue up whatever you want if it's good. Krups is the same shit. They're like fucking 20 feet away from the mic. It sounds like when I'm in the other room screaming at my microphone. It's not. Okay, whatever, dude. It's a 6-minute song. Chad, I need some opinions. Am I just an asshole? What are we feeling right now? I need a little community feedback. You're the asshole? Fuck you. I could be the asshole. It's my stream, okay? I'm a dictator. I'm not a Screamo fan, so none of it sounds great to me. Based opinion. I actually don't mind Screamo, but... Well, actually, I am kind of very selective with it. This is why you never be president. I'm not American. I can't be president. I do like this type of music, but I understand your point of view. My volume is too low. Trump's is Canadian. He's already out. What the fuck? I know. Canadian reveal? I feel like he likes Alexis on Fire. Ironically, one of my favorite bands, yes. But I feel like it's also just because I listened to them when I was younger. I think if I got into them now, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. I'm not like a huge Screamo guy, you know? But I do have some that I like. Well, I'm from Michigan, so technically I'm Canadian. Whatever you say, dog. Whatever you say. He's Canadian and he's not over 75, so he can't be president of the States. It's true. I could convert and then I could run for convert like it's a religion. I could immigrate and then become an American. I wouldn't, but I could. Her jaw feels kind of weird still. You hate us? Not all of you. Just your government mostly. With a strong burning passion. I never get these American stereotype things you say, like everyone knows what you mean. I think it's just regionally, Michigan is a lot more culturally, I guess, probably closer to Canada than like let's say the South or whatever. I think that's what he means. It's too much. It's too much value. I'm kind of dicking around on this drawing. I'm not getting a whole lot done on it. Many of us from border states will joke that we're basically Canadian, especially the folk who lives in cities along the border. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Everybody wants to be Canadian. We're just so freaking perfect and awesome. Honey Bubble, thank you for the follow. Oh shit, another trend chatter. I know Honey Bubble. How you doing, big dog? And then there's Snack. There is me. What about me? Stream vocals are hard, and this is halfway to great only, though. This song sucked. I'm not gonna lie, chat. That song was terrible. If the next one's like this, I'm scaring it. I'm skipping it. Alright, bye-bye. It started off the exact same. Okay, this one's gotta go too. Sorry, chat. I know you guys are Super big emo lovers. I can't do it. Corrupts, it's not personal. It's just business, okay? Snack single-handedly destroying pro-Canada propaganda? What do you mean? I'm a patriot, dude. I love my country, unironically. When people request modern rap songs, I want to give up. Ain't that a bitch? That's basically like my. That's basically me. I don't mind Korean stuff either. Like the poppy, like Korean stuff doesn't bother me too much. Syrup liquor? Yeah, don't you know it? See, we all have our likes and dislikes. Thank you for at least giving one of the songs a chance. Yeah, I do it out of peer pressure. I feel like if I skip every song all the time that I don't like, I look like such an asshole. I will be honest, chat. The song requests have not been peak lately for some reason. I don't know if I'm just getting older. I could be that too. I could just be getting older and things just sound poopier to me as I get older and I get grumpier and I just want to like listen to fucking like divorced dad rock. But it's been a struggle lately for me. Things that are gonna guaranteed get skipped are things like dubstep is gonna be an instant skip. Um, classical is gonna be an instant skip. Anything that's like instrumental probably gonna be an instant skip. What do you consider divorced dad rock? You know, like Creed, Seether, fucking Stone Sour, like shit like that. You know, jazz. Yeah, jazz is gonna be an instant skip. It depends, I guess, on the jazz. If it's just like musical jazz, like there's no action. Oh, musicals also instant skip. If you guys start playing like Disney classics and shit, I'm probably just gonna not be down. I might tolerate it. Depends on my mood, really. Damn, bro. I know I'm evil. You have a genre you listen to more than any other? A lot of R&B these days. A lot of hip hop. A lot of like classic, like rock and stuff like that. You're such a normie, dude. I know. Ah, snack painting, no environment? No, just in a white void. He hates instrumentals and things that are really nerdy and theatery. Yeah, if you start queuing up like OSTs from like Has Been Hotel, or you start giving me like fucking Sonic OSTs and shit, it's gonna be a wrap. See, I don't mind this. That's fine. I'll host a musical watching night in your Discord without you. Yeah, you can totally do that. I actually don't hate musicals. I just don't want to listen to musical stuff. Like I find musicals entertaining to watch, but I also have to like know what I'm getting into, you know? Like I don't have any issues with like musicals per se. I don't like they kind of like ham up like I don't know, the like it's like a lot of musical stuff is like kind of half singing, half conversation, and there's like this weird tone to it that I it just irks me. I don't know how to explain it. But I think within the context of a movie, it's fine. But within the context of music, it's too much for me. I don't know how to explain it. It just makes me feel weird. Hater? Well, yeah, literally. I think you would like Epic the Musical. Right now, it has no visual aspects, so aside from the animatics, but the quality was so good and its popularity so high that they decided to make a feature like the movie for it. It's either too much or too little with you. I'm trying to think of like a context where that would be the case. I think with music, I guess. I mean, the song the Krups were queuing up. The guy wasn't even like near his microphone. He was in another room. I think you got to watch good classical musicals and not Disney original stuff. Possible. I'm the same. I don't mind watching a musical, but I don't want to listen to the soundtracks. I don't enjoy them out of context. That's it. It's like I don't mind the music within the context of a movie. I just don't want to listen to it and like I would never really listen to a show's OST or anything like that. It's just not something that I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe songs, like if they choose like song, like if they get licensing for like a certain song in like a show and I like that song, I'll listen to that song. But I'm not gonna look up like, X show OST or whatever and then just play through it. But the Bleach intros are bangers. I feel like you'd like this. Okay, I won't lie, the anime openings, I do fuck with that. Not even instrumentals for vibes at home? No, I'm not an instrumental guy, like at all. I'm just really not a. It's very rare that I'll like an instrumental, unless it's like techno or like something like that. Even technos aren't really instrumental though, but okay, wait, I have a has been song to challenge that. All right, let's hear it. I'll allow it. I don't know, listen to it the whole way through, as long as it's not like 10 minutes long. I could give you guys like a rating of each song on a scale of like 1 to 10 if you want. I love playing Frenchy ambience music while I cook. Yeah, that's fine. Like I don't have issues to like if people want to like play music while they cook or whatever, like I don't mind that. I think it's more like if I'm deliberately sitting down to listen to music or I'm actively drawing, I have like agency over sort of like what I get to choose. I won't select that stuff. But I mean like if I'm at a dinner, and my friend's playing classical music, I'm not gonna it's not gonna bother me. Rate this song right now. This one, it's like a 3 out of 10. You should rate them, but if mine is below a 6, you have to skip the rating. What the fuck, man? It's okay. All right. I'm gonna move up the Has Been Hotel song in the queue because Krup's queued up a lot of shit, and I'm curious. I'm just gonna move it up. It'll be next. This sounds like dad rock in my ears too. This does not sound like dad rock to me. I've been listening to a lot of Japanese math rock recently, just because it's texturally different from most other music. I feel like a dog hearing its favorite words. I'm not gonna which words. This is not dad rock, but I could see how it would be. The Pine is such a good ass band. Uh huh. Look, man, I'm just a little hater. Okay, don't mind me. I think when I first started streaming, I was a lot more open and I was a lot chiller with like music that I found weird. And I'd be like, you know what? It's not too bad. I'd always like I'd try and like cope myself into being like, yeah, 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 I can see how I can see how you like this. But I think as I've gotten older, or not older, sorry, I think as I've gotten more terrible song requests, uh, I just fucking I just started having like a shorter patience for like certain musics. I think especially the thing is stuff like this isn't terrible. Like I can deal with stuff like this, But I feel like there have been certain times where I've specifically told chatters to stop queuing shit up, and they still do it, and that shit pisses me off. It used to not, but it's like made me very it's annoyed me more these days. Is it that controversial to dislike instrumentals? I don't like them too. Based, you'd pull a PK. I have considered removing song requests as an option. I won't, but I've considered it just because I feel like lately there's been a lot of music I haven't liked, or I've been more picky lately. Monastery Bells, yeah, exactly. I could just be extra grumpy today. I have no idea. This conundrum is why I don't do song requests. I just tell chat that I don't like their songs. It's a small price to pay, I guess, for listening to your music. Little risk. Okay, that song was like a 2, probably, out of 10. Okay, has been hotel time. I get that, but I need words. I have to be saying something in my head, or I watch a YouTube video. I feel like that's kind of it for me too. Like I just, like instrumental stuff is fine for shows for like ambiance, but I just can't. I can't. I don't know. I just don't like listening to instrumental stuff. If you hate it, it's okay. I just think this one makes sense out of context. I don't hate this song. I don't hate this song. It is very musically. There's like a cadence and a way of like timing things and stuff. I don't know. So how would you rate it? I give it like a 5. Like it's okay. It's not bad. 5 is like it's basically not bad. Not like something that would be my cup of tea, but it's not the worst. I think I also this is another genre I really don't like. I don't like electro swing like at all. I actually really don't like electro swing. So that's probably also why like a lot of stuff like that is it's like my I don't know. 5 out of 10. I don't hate it. But I feel like that's reasonable, you know? If you're like on like let's say you're on a look scale and you're a 5 out of 10 on looks, you're like a normal looking dude. It's a norm. You want that's a good position to be. You're like the average. What's wrong with electro swing? You know what? When I was younger, I used to actually not mind electro swing much, but as I got older, I don't know. I think you know what? I think it's not even the electro swing. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm being too much of an asshole today, chat. I gotta mellow out a little bit. If someone called me a 5 out of 10, I would be found dead in a ditch. Really? If someone called me a 5 out of 10, I'd be like, that makes yeah. I feel like that's not too bad. Not too bad. Snack. She's looking at her nose. She looks cross-eyed. I don't think your sense of eye direction is accurate on that one. I don't know if I agree. I think there definitely is something a little odd about this eye, but I wouldn't say cross-eyed. Dan, be more confident in yourself. At least be a 6 to a 7. 6, 7. Dude, I gotta piss again. What the fuck? I've been drinking so much water this morning. That's probably why. I gotta pee again. I'll be right back. I'm so tired. Snacks, you just rate yourself a 5 out of 10? I feel like I'm probably like a 6 out of 10. If there's a bell curve, okay, this is how I'm gonna rationalize it, okay? This is how I'll explain. I think if there's a bell curve, and like we're going on objective metrics here, okay? Like 0 being here, then 10 being here, you know, and then most people are probably going to distribute somewhere around the 5 mark. Like most people on planet Earth are probably going to be around the 5 mark, and then you're going to get some sort of like distribution like this. So most people are going to hover around this area, right? Like this is where most people are going to fall, okay, in this range. I think if that's the case, and like, you know, a generic man is like a 5, let's say, I think I'm probably like a 6. I'm like mildly above average. Mildly is what I would say. So I don't think I'm like far off. But I think like yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would put myself a little bit like above, a little above average. That's good though. This 6 out of 10 is crazy good. It means you're better looking than most people. That's what that means. That's good. That means all of these people in this area here, like in this area here, all of these people, it means you're better looking than them. That is a lot of people, okay? A 6 out of 10 is a good thing to beat. That's a lot of people to be better than, you know? So like when I hear someone say they're like a 5 and they're like, I would never want to be a 5. Wait, you don't want to be basically like better looking than half the population? Like that doesn't make. Of course you would. Why would you not want that? And so when I say a 6 to me is like a big deal, you know? That's like that's a good thing. That's a lot of people to be more attractive than. I think that's realistic. I think people skew up the out of 10 scale a little bit too much, where everybody's like, I'm like a 7 or an 8. That's like, that means you're like more attractive than like fucking like 80% of the population. That seems insane. It seems so unlikely. So anyways, that's how I rationalize my 0 out of 10 scale. This is giving me a bizarre complex about my self-image. Oh no, not my goal. If it's just looks, I max out at 8.2 in a suit and lowest 4.5 on a bad day. Genuinely seeing your flesh tuber, you're an 8 or more. Sorry. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. But you know, I got my I got my own perspectives on it, I suppose. Personality fucks me up though. Yeah, personality. That's true. It depends also what you're rating on. If you're just doing like, you know, how attractive you are, like physically, that's just one dimension that like people look at in attractiveness. There's also personality, there's like emotional intelligence. There's a whole like spectrum of things that sort of like, you know, people perceive and factor in when they want to consider dating or being with someone or whatever. And so there's a it's more than just looks, right? So like somebody who's like a 6 but is like very charming could be bumped up to like a 7 or an 8, you know? It's just, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's just there's variance. Trin, sorry, gasp. Trin is a knower. User. Damn, I rated you higher than Trin. Get in line, diva. Who? You guys are fighting for the Canadian green card? I don't think we have green cards here. I think the Canadian immigration system is a little different. I don't think we call them green cards, but I really don't want to work on this anymore. I'm getting tired of it. I might wrap up stream at the 3 hour mark. I feel like I'm being a little grumpy guy today. Give me that C card. The C stands for Canadian, right? Is this an OC? Technically, I guess. It's just like a random chick. I've talked about this a few times. I have strong opinions about the term OC. This is also like every time somebody asks me if it's an OC, you get like an unskippable dialogue option for me, okay? And so to me, OCs deserve more than just like a one-off drawing. I feel like an OC is like an expanded thing where it's like there's more to the character. There's repeated use out of the character. There's like lore, background, maybe they have a name, like stuff like that. I feel like an OC is a multi-dimensional thing where it needs like a lot more to be upgraded to the status of OC. Otherwise, I would just put them in the category of like just like a sketch or like an exploration or something like that. That's sort of like how I feel, I guess, about the OC thing. Oh yeah, I agree. And so, in to answer your question, I would not consider this an OC. That's what I would say. But technically speaking, yes, it is by a lot of people's definitions. By my own, probably not. I'm gonna put my hoodie on. I'm freaking cold. I like how the bunny is scared of his wolf boyfriend. Why would he be scared? He's supposed to be tenderly in love with his wolf boyfriend, dude. He's supposed to love and cherish his presence all the time, not be fearful. Sounds like a bad relationship? Buddy, I just have a maned wolf who boxes with a mullet. That's the whole thing right now. Bro's got a handbook for drawing. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to sort of adhere to my perspective on what an OC is. I think it's more just like this is how I like rationalize it in my head. Look, I'm neurotic, guys. I like have weird rules for myself and the world. I have I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. If I draw a design more than once, they become an OC. That's a good indicator. You know what I mean? I feel like that's reasonable. Yeah, if you live in Snoozeville, okay. Sometimes the fear is performative. Great, you got the Omegaverse chatters going again, Snack. There's a whole kink for that chat. I don't know what the hell you guys lost me. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. If I create a character sheet or turnaround for them, I'll consider them an original character. That's reasonable. You know, I feel like if you're building a character sheet, the intent is to do exploratory work, right? That's beyond just like that one-off drawing. People are into predator prey dynamics during sex, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm aware. I'm aware. Non-con or something, I think is the correct term. I feel like subdom is just kind of like the standard one, I think, right? Like that is technically like it's a relinquishing of like control, but in like a controlled way, if that makes sense. All right, chat. I'm changing the topic. We're not exploring this. It's enough of that. Subdom is rampant with misinformation, but it is the most common dynamic these days. Yeah. Anyways, what universe is this lady in? None yet. She's not part of any sort of like expanded world. Snack, I think I'm gonna keep the pose I originally made, but adjust the legs and one of the arms. Do your thing, dude. I can't tell you what to do. I know what you freaks are. I hope so. I live with you. How much to sell your mouse booty to Elon for one night? Dog. Anyways, this Kimdo song, remember if it's less than 6, just quietly skip it. I think this one, is this your Kimdo song? This sounds like the same artist who did like the intro to what the fuck is it called? Tokyo Ghoul. Is it the same person who did Tokyo Ghoul? Unravel? Is that it? I don't know. It is? Okay. It does have a similar energy? Yeah, it does. Especially the whispering. At least he's close to his mic, though, when he's whispering, you know? That's all that matters. What? Dissing my song left and right. Well, I mean, I didn't say it was that comment was linked to your song. You're just projecting your insecurities, dude. Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a piss baby today. I need to sleep more. Shitting and pissing all over the floor. I am, yeah. You're a piss grown man. Don't infantilize yourself, twin. Thank you. So true. Ironically, Piss Baby does sound like an album that would come from that band. Probably. There's something therapeutic about just doing like thin little outlines. I'm not doing anything like unique with the line art, but I just sort of it feels like I'm doing something even though I'm really not contributing a whole lot to this piece right now. We got piss on the mind. Hopefully not, dude. I'm done with pissing for now. I'm gonna drink a bit more water though, but I'm gonna have to ride the bike later, so I gotta hydrate, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my eraser that erases on multiple layers and just clean up some shit all around here. Let's see. Ooh, that must be locked. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Oops, not what I wanted. That eraser always makes me nervous just in case I erase something that I wasn't planning to use later that I wasn't paying attention to. You can lock it. So if you just lock the layer, like if I lock, like let's say I lock the entire folder, now if I go over it, it won't let me erase. Like no matter how much I go over it. You know, so you can lock specific layers that you want to protect. And then it still works on all the other layers. And so because I just want to erase aspects of the line layer, but I don't want to erase like all of it, I'm just gonna... Like this is clearly a locked layer. I just don't know which one. I'm not really sure. No, it's the masking layer. It's really useful though for just doing like silhouette cleanup and stuff. I really like this tool for that reason. Why you so EP, dude? I don't know. I'm a little sleepy boy. Eraser, my favorite brush for real. I don't know. I actually slept like an insane amount. I think I'm overtired. I slept like almost like 9 hours, which is a lot for me. And it doesn't sound like a lot for a lot of people, but for me it is quite a bit. I usually sleep about 7.5 hours, and I turned off my alarm, and then when I woke up, it was like 10 a.m. and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" I thought it was gonna be like 8. there's still some weirdness going on in the eye area and all this shit, but iron deficiency probably is possible. Modafinil abuse arc. What's modafinil? Does it make you sleep? I don't know if I like that little thing. Nice, bro. Soon you could join the clan and change your name to Sleepy Cat Snack. Sleep Snack. She has the opposite of a coke nail. All of her nails are coke nails, basically. Oh, actually, no, you're right. I didn't do a nail here. Fuck. Okay, I know what you mean now. Oh shit. That's not intentional. It's her nose picking nail. That's what it is. She's got a nose picking nail. Thumb too? Shit. Well, nobody really picks their nose with their thumb. Primary treatment against narcolepsy, abused by ambulatory workers who have to stay focused on night shift. Do you mean insomnia? Or falling asleep? Because I feel like narcolepsy is like a very specific like medical thing. Like it's like somebody just passes out randomly. Splunking nail, exactly. What up? What up, Damon? How you doing, dog? Damon under your third alt. In most animes, the show of disrespect and disinterest is picking nose with Pinky. Yeah. Not in my Western norms. It's just if you're looking for a good time, you know? The nail for tampon removal? Okay. I don't know what's going on in here. I'm gonna try and carve this out. No, I'm not gonna do that actually. I'm gonna leave it up. Oh no. No, Shock, no! Sukarin, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. I was just about to wrap up stream. Fuck. Stop beating the mic. I never stop beating the mic, dude. Welcome in, Suck. How's it going? What are you getting up to today? Entertain me? You put me on the spot, dude. I got nothing to think of. Me, a raider of some kinds? Saku has pushed me to steal all of your goodies? No, 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 no. Valid reaction to Saku? Yeah, exactly. Suck. Last category, art. What were you drawing? You want to share with the class? And then while you're looking for something to share, we can give a little rundown to the rest of your chatters about what we do here. We draw, mostly. We do stuff like this. There's nothing there. We do stuff like this. We do stuff like this. We do stuff like this. Do. We've done some animation stuff, illustration-y stuff, other illustration-y stuff. We're kind of all over the place with shit that we do, you know? Line art, blah, 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 blah. And right now we're doing this. I don't know how I feel about it yet. What up, Grizz? How you doing, big dog? Sure, I was working on my offline screen. Hell yeah, dude. Love your coloring. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I don't color very often, but oh, the Naruto page. Actually, this was like a. I did each of these in like less than 3 hours. Like I basically did like one a day. I had like a really much more simplistic way of painting, which I think I should probably try and do again. Dang. All right, we got a big fat purple ink. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is looking nice, dude. This is gonna be massive. I can already tell. Let me pull it out. Time to see how big my canvas is compared to Sucks. I gotta move it up. I gotta move it up. So it's over the line art. Come on. Check this out, chat. This is really nice compositionally. I really like the sort of gesture you have going in here. Like it flows really nicely. Oh, I'm flipping it from the way you sent it actually. This is sick. So this is your offline screen. So whenever you're not live, you have this. I don't think I have an offline screen. Look at the eyes on that lady. Suck. I gotta be straight with you. I was about to wrap up stream. I was about to raid out. I was actually thinking of raiding you, ironically, just because I saw that you were online. But do you have any social media you want to plug, or anything you want to share, or anything like that before we call it a day? Sucker has some hidden art pieces. Some hidden piece on that art, though. Oh. Some hidden pieces. You got me playing Where's Waldo on this thing. Nah, it's hidden. Like hidden as in not visible at all. Sorry, I meant she has to showcase it. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, of course. Appropriate. Don't tell them about the doodle page. There's a doodle page. You always end stream when I arrive. Do you hate me, Snack? Quite the opposite, Grizzlock. I don't hate you. Don't worry. Suck. Final words. If you want to share any links, social media, Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, whatever. This is what he meant? Okay, let me take a little look. Okay, I see. I like the hyper realistic hand. You should have kept it in. Is it supposed to have another dude and you're just like not at that point yet, or is it or is that just a meme? Oh, it's with Chad Kroger. I should have fucking known. I always forget when you stream, you have like a picture, you have like the photograph of Chad Kroger, like holding up the portrait of your stream. Final words as if he's about to execute you, yeah. Final meal, anything? Not a real Nickelback fan? I should be. I've listened to their song a painful amount of times. Look at this photograph. Suku's the meme. Expect the meme. Oh, I expect it, dude. My final meal will be the same as my first. Breast milk. I've seen that video. I didn't know you're peak like that. The circle of life, dude. All right, Suck. Any last links you want to drop? After that, I'm taking off. Let's find somebody to raid into. We could raid into Fib Philip. He's a streamer, or not streamer. He isn't streamer, but he's a sculptor here on Twitch. He's part of that sculptor community. Gladsask, all those guys. My offline chat. Yeah, exactly. Fib, you say? I do say. Yes, follow Chad Kroger on Twitter. Okay, noted. Thank you for the raid, Isaku. I appreciate you, dog. And I will catch you all in the next one. If you want to know when I go live next, it's going to be Friday. Oops, I didn't mean to type that. If you want live notifications, make sure you join our Discord. Go to the rules channel. Toggle on the live notification rule. It's the purple react button. And with that, I'm going to set up the raid. Fib. His name is like weirdly spelled. Fib Phil Lip. I appreciate you all for coming out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you on Friday. Bye-bye.